One of the complications that we face when we try to apply Mill's principles is the following. What counts as interfering with someone's liberty? This is a more difficult question than it might seem. Okay? If someone wants to hold some kind of demonstration on the street corner and the police physically remove them, well, that's interfering with their liberty. Okay. On the other hand, merely telling someone, I don't approve of what you're doing, does not usually count as interfering with their liberty. However, there are harder cases. When I think of this, I sometimes think of a movie that came out a few years ago. Right? It was called The Bridges of Madison County. It was based on a best-selling novel. Basically, it was about a photographer for National Geographic who had some kind of love affair with a woman who lived on a farm in Iowa. Right? Her husband was away at the state fair. Right? The director of the movie found this farmhouse that perfectly fit what they wanted. Right? And they wanted to film it there. But when the owners realized what the movie was about, they said, absolutely not. Right? As one member of the family that owned the house put it, there's never been adultery in this house, and there's never going to be. Right? And they meant that as including the portrayal of adultery in a film. So did they interfere with their liberty? Well, at first glance, we might say, no, they didn't. Right? It was their property. They didn't allow something they disapproved of to be done on their property. Right? Or even a simulation of something they disapproved of, or whatever was going to happen in the movie. I'll admit, I haven't seen the movie or read the book. On the other hand, right, it did mean that something that the directors wanted to do could not be done. Right? They wanted a certain image for their movie. Right? They wanted a certain house. It fit with the story they were trying to tell, right? The image they wanted to portray, and they were unable to do it because the homeowners refused to let them do so. So the question is, well, does this count as interfering with someone's liberty? It's hard to say, right? And that is going to be a difficulty when we apply Mill's principles, right? When does a person's refusal to cooperate with someone else's activities count as interfering with their liberty? Or to some extent, when does disrupting their activity count as interfering with someone's liberty?